about to roll.
Super
Here
ready, excited for the day. It's going to be an amazing day. Back to this.
We
need more Philly. Gather too. Best show ever in comfy day to you. My name is Erinn.
My name is Dan.
And we are
Erinn and Dan.
And this is
Erinn and Dan, but it's live.
It's live. It's
live.
So live.
It's live.
We want you guys to comment right now so we can prove to you that it's live.
Because if you were to comment right now, I could conjure you like a genie from a bottle to appear on our screen, such as that comment there from Jandrith, who's in that room next door and is 2 margaritas deep.
Yeah, she is. She's having a real good night, aren't you, Mom?
We are here in Miami.
We are.
Hello from Florida.
Yes, we are about to embark on a Virgin cruise. And while we are saying so, we have a question for you on this National Coffee Day.
That's crazy.
So this happens from time to time now. It never works. Fireworks.
What is happening? Okay.
Our special effects budget got hijacked.
Doubled, and our
by
producer did a couple of lines in the bathroom before the episode started.
Line readings for all those kids watching.
Yes.
Guys, what are you drinking out there?
Congratulations, Oswald. I can't wait to see them pearly whites.
Ooh, that's going to look good. Going to be good for the stage, too.
That's something that we all share.
I'm glad you're alive, Billy. If you are here and you're alive, please keep those comments coming and let us know what you're drinking because it's almost time to toast to you this lovely evening.
Y'all, it is National Comfy Day.
Yes, it is. Oh, man. And you know, National Comfy Day actually has been around since the early 2000s. It was started by Michael and Brian Snapple. That's their last name.
Is it of the apple fortune, the juice fortune?
But they were the siblings known as the Comfy Brothers because they invented the very first wearable blanket.
The Snuggie.
Yeah, no, the very first wearable blanket.
See, first to market is not always last to live. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The one that makes a name for itself.
Yes, it's supposed to be celebrated by kicking back, relaxing, and not worrying about things. So stop worrying about what you wear, how you look, put on a hoodie, and join us today for National Comfy Day.
Because it's comfy. Because it's comfy. What is more comfy than a hoodie that is still appropriate for this particular live stream, which is family friendly mostly?
Exactly. What are some ways you are comfy? Like, do you have a comfy place that you sit?
What's volatile about it? Is there a francium thing at the bottom that's going to blow you up?
Chad, I'm worried about you, but
I forgot. When I have a coffee in my hand, I always feel like I need to drink it, and then Erinn reminds me that we haven't toasted yet, and I'm here. And
that was so nice of you to spit that out. I thought it was too hot. You were just being gross.
No, it's actually quite tepid.
Okay.
I'm pretty old.
Tepid coffee from a nice, cozy hotel. Oh, ramen noodles is a perfect way to celebrate Comfy Day. What about comfort foods, Dan? Do you have a comfort food you love?
You know, I like raw turbino sugar in a cup. Large grain, the kind that lacerates your tongue and just gets right in the bloodstream. Like a good chewing tobacco.
When Dan was a child, he used to eat bowls of sugar.
Yes, when I was a child.
And now he just eats bowls of candy that I have to pick the wrappers up.
When she's out of town, I still eat the sugar.
Do you?
Yeah.
You can eat sugar when I'm in town.
It just doesn't, I can't handle the shame.
When do I ever go out of town?
It's not often that I get to eat sugar these days.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to toast. So raise your glasses high as we welcome our special guest today, who's actually related to me. His name is Randall Dirth.
And it's a segment we call...
Time now for a toast.
Ooh, that one's gonna need a little help.
Yeah. Toast and jam. Because not only does he have wonderful words...
He jams.
Yeah. And
not
just with liquid jam.
No, liquid.
Randy?
Liquid jam. Randy?
Hello to Erinn and Dan, all of the followers, all of the friends, all of the performers out there. Hope you guys are living large, enjoying life, and being able to do so responsibly. Maybe with a little bit of mischief.
Yeah.
Woo! Cheers, everyone. And thank you so much, Randy, for that amazing toast.
To you all out there, thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here.
And we'll see you out there when we drink this right now.
Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. If you're joining us for the first time, by the way, thanks for joining us. You can follow us at these. We always forget to promote these, but these are our social handles, and you can follow us there. You know the drill. It's 2024.
Yes, you do know the drill. It's so funny how one little icon can go so far in today's world.
Yeah, that beard is impressive. You can tell the man conditions it because there's a sheen and a luster about it. You just want to run your fingers through it and squish your face on it, chew on it a little bit.
Exactly. There is a reason that we had Randy play the trumpet on today's episode, and you're going to find out more about that later today as Dan dives deep into the musical world of Miles Davis.
Are we starting that now?
No.
Oh.
I'm just letting people know what's coming.
She runs the itinerary. I just click the buttons.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
We didn't clink.
I'm sorry.
For our fans out there.
Clink. Sorry, Bruce.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for keeping us on the straight and narrow. I hate to disappoint people, and I feel I've done now.
No, you haven't disappointed anyone.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've had to. We just got into Florida to Miami today.
Just a few hours ago.
I've had to poop since before I got here.
Are you leaving?
I should have gone before the stream started because it's like knocking on heaven's door right now.
I don't think you should be drinking coffee if you have to, or you should just go and let me take over.
You think I can?
I mean, whatever you need.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Just be aware that it might become a solo broadcast momentarily.
It's fine. It's happened before.
We've all been there. Also, look how tiny Erinn looks if I sit back like this. I mean, big Erinn looks. She's gigantic, and I'm like a little.
And then we'll swap in 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't look as tiny as you do.
Oh, you look tiny.
Okay. This is fun. And it's good television, as Dan would say.
Sorry, everybody.
Moving on to all sorts of things. What I wanted to tell you was not only are we going to talk about Miles Davis, we have an incredible guest waiting in our very luxurious green room who is now being massaged by those little fish that you put your feet in.
Which is a real thing. I don't know if you know this, but you can go to a mall. It's usually in a mall food court.
You didn't know this.
And you take off your pants and your
not
feet.
your pants.
And
Do not take your pants off in a mall.
And then you dip your legs into a fish tank, and all these little tiny disgusting fish just strip your bones of your flesh.
Nah, they strip all of the nasty dead skin you don't need. It's pretty impressive. But
Miami.
yes, Phil is currently waiting with one of those, and I think our Swedish masseuses just showed up.
Maasai.
Yeah. We also have movie reviews, we have video game reviews, and we have a hot sauce we will be ingesting as well.
Yep.
But this week, we had an incredible opportunity to go see a new show that I loved so much.
Y'all, if you're a musical theater fan, you've probably heard of this, but not many people do it. We saw Hands on a Hard Body. Who knows about this?
Oh my gosh, it is an absolutely incredible show. It was produced by Paramount Players in Berlin. Nope, not Paramount.
Gallery Players at the Paramount Theater in Burlington.
Yes. And wow, it was such a great show. I had no idea. And actually, if you were watching last week, you know that I thought that I had potentially gone cold because I watched Grave of the Fireflies and I didn't weep. I haven't gone cold because I cried like a baby.
And let me tell you, it's based on a cult classic documentary from the 90s, I believe. It's really hard to get your hands on this documentary. That is not a truck. That is Erinn's father.
Because yesterday was National Coast Guard Reserve Day, and we celebrated that as well. So it was the birthday of the National Coast Guard Reserve. If there's any military folk out there, we know a lot of you are following us after our 50 states tour last year. So thank you for your service. Go ahead and pop a little doodly in the
Papa Doodly.
Papa Doodly in the comments.
Papa Doodly's my rapper's name.
PapaDoodly.com.
But Hands on a Hard Body, based on a documentary about people who a Nissan dealership held a competition to see who could stand with their hands on a truck.
And it's a true story.
For the longest time, it was a documentary. Of course, it's true.
Right.
And they filmed it, and then the last person to remove their hands won the truck.
And it was so great.
Sounds weird for music, but it's beautiful. It's kind of an Americana, like country rock script and a lot of really human stories. It's really good, and I can't wait to direct it someday.
Yeah, it's a really incredible show. I highly recommend it to anyone. They actually have one more weekend of their show as well. Speaking of shows, that right there is Jeff from Las Vegas. Jeff Hudson just produced a show this last week called Dressed to the Nines. It was a smashing success, and we're incredibly proud of him.
And he was on the show, and he'll be back. He'll be back. Papa Doc from 8 Mile. Papa Doc.
Ooh.
Are you thinking of Eminem?
I think maybe that's,
Rabbit?
I'm not sure.
You call him Rabbit?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a photo of the week to share with you.
Yes, we do.
Dan Beckman, as you know, is an award-winning photographer, and we love to share his work. What is this, Dan?
Two awards. This
This
is Devil's Tower in Wyoming. It's a volcanic structure. Everyone knows about it, but I got to tell you what, I've always wanted to see this. We got to drive out and see this baby. And it is one of my favorite natural wonders I've ever gotten to lay eyes on. It's very, very cool, very unique.
It's incredible for two reasons. Number one, it's nothing around, and then this giant whoop is just sticking out. So it's more impressive than a mountain because it's just sticking out of nowhere.
Well, there's trees. You go through all this winding forest and canyonland. It's really pretty. And number two
is on the way we saw prairie dogs, like real live, just in the field, prairie dogs.
I was disappointed because I thought they were going to start singing like a bluegrass tune in an animatronic style,
but instead we tap danced for them, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
They seemed to like it.
They were ambivalent, much like our audience.
A little bit. But that painting, that picture from Dan, you can also see now in so many places, y'all. Dan Beckman now has his America the Beautiful book in Fiction Addiction, in Quail Ridge Books, on Main Street Books, and in many bookshops all across the country. In fact, we are in 6 different stores at the moment, and we're about to double that number in about a week, which is really exciting.
We are?
We are!
Wow. Shows you what I know.
Dan just takes the pictures.
Oh, and this is, of course, a reference to...
Roswell.
No. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh,
this means something.
yes.
This is important.
Right.
Great film. She's never seen it, but we'll get to it. One of my favorite Spielbergs.
I haven't seen it, but I do know about it.
Yeah, she does.
Ladies and gentlemen, guess what?
What?
We are finalists, not me and Dan, but
Oh.
Spring Theater is actually a finalist in the Triad Moms on Main Choice Awards. And this is a pretty little big deal in our community. So if you have a phone, we would love for you to vote for Spring Theater. We are actually nominated for Best Summer Camp and for Best Child Arts and Entertainment Program. Enrichment Program. It's not entertaining, it's enriching. I should go.
There's a very bold line in the sand, and we've made sure to draw it.
Exactly. We would love for you to vote for us if you go on triadmomsonmain.com /choice-awards, or you can just go to their main website and click there. You'll scroll down under Winston-Salem, and you'll see that there's 3 options for the finalists, and we are one of them in both categories, number 5 and number 6. We would really appreciate your vote because this is a great way to get our message out to other kids all over the Triad.
If everybody on this stream votes, that's tens more votes.
It is. And 10s more votes is important to us.
Yeah. Do it!
Y'all, thank you so much for your support, as always.
You guys, what else?
And if you don't want to vote for us, this puppy wants you to vote for us.
If you don't vote for us, I'm going to wring that puppy's neck.
No.
And hang him in the town square like Mussolini.
Wait, no, that puppy was meant to make people's hearts swell, not to make them fearful.
Well, I'm going to make
Put the puppy back.
Oh.
Put the puppy back.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the
Just
puppy.
imagine him hanging by his tail upside down naked like Mussolini.
No, stop making my cute thing ugly.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man. We're going to move on because...
Kind of our brand, though, isn't it?
It is kind of our brand.
Are you going to tell us what you learned this week?
So
hey,
for
thank you
those-
for doing that. Thank you for doing that.
Thank
you for saying that. Sean Wilkie, who we met on the road.
Sean Wilkie is one of those awesome people. You know, my favorite part about traveling across the country and traveling just in general all across the world is meeting people. Like you, Oswald. It's so good to see you. I like this classic Dan. I want to become classic Erinn and just keep doing this too.
Here's the trick. If you ever just repeat something, no matter what Erinn's doing, if you interrupt her in the middle of the thing, just start doing an action and she'll join in.
Today we're driving down to Florida and he starts messing with his hair and I just start doing it.
Well, Miles Davis was playing and he was playing in his fusion area. And well, we'll get to it.
It was intense.
Yeah.
Y'all, this year has been Erinn's year of learning. And what I'm doing is every single day I am learning a new fact or figure and I am imbibing it into my brain so that at the end of the year, I will know at the very least 365 new things.
Yeah.
And so here come
I love this, by the way. I don't get to know these until this. This is my favorite part of the show. Let's do it.
All right, February 13th, I learned that the patent for the fire extinguisher was actually burned in a fire.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's not a joke.
That's hilarious.
That would be a really nasty joke.
Do you know? Do you remember from your cruise ship training what word you're supposed to remember for fire extinguisher usage?
No.
Pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep.
PASSS?
No, just 2 S's.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it'd be pass.
Can I be perfectly honest with you? I was supposed to have training and I missed it.
She burned the ship down.
So
On a corporate level.
Oh, sad. Nice. Next, we have February 14th. I learned, this is cool as heck, that when a person receives a kidney transplant, just like that cute little guy, they don't take out the old kidneys. They just shove them to the side and leave them in there.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So if any of you have had a kidney transplant, you probably have...
That's a waste of beef.
A lot of stuff just hanging out inside your body.
And especially, who's had the most kidney transplants out here?
Anybody?
Who has the most kidneys still swimming around in their gut?
On February 15th, I learned that corgi is a translation of the Welsh word for dwarf dog. Cor is dwarf. Gi is dog. Corgi.
Corgi.
Yeah.
Do you know that they're also they're like bastardizations of dog breeding, and they're basically eternally suffering?
You can't say that word on this show.
Okay, they're in eternal anguish. Next.
On February 16th, I learned that this is a very famous picture, and it's the first picture taken of the Wright brothers flyer during the famous first flight. It was taken by someone who had never seen a camera before that day.
What?
And that was the very first picture that he ever took. How cool is that?
That's a lot of layers of information.
Well,
I thought it was going to be about the Wright brothers, but it's not. It's about this guy that just picked up a camera and got to photograph the Wright brothers, because back before technology was widespread, opportunities were everywhere.
Isn't that
awesome? Never nowhere.
I feel like you're double cynical today.
Next.
February 17th, I learned that Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than the building of the pyramids.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Well, I thought it was cool. All right, we're moving on. February 18th, this is disgusting and I couldn't wait to tell you. February 18th, I learned that wearing headphones for 1 hour increases the bacteria in your ears by up to 700 times. Ew,
700
ew.
times or 700%?
No, 700 times. It's really gross. And so
no way.
Yeah, you can look it up. Also, a lot of doctors say that most ear infections happen to people who wear headphones, especially these guys.
I wear them all the time.
I know. The other day when you were like, I'm going to go in my cans, I was like, no.
That's okay. I won world's most grotesque ears in my high school election.
No, he didn't. Anybody who's out there and knows me knows that Dan's ears are my cutest thing. Isn't he the cutest ears ever? Okay, on February 19th, I learned something about eyes. I learned that your eyeballs have a separate enclosed immune system than the rest of your body. And if somehow the two immune systems became aware of each other, your body would literally think your eyes were invaders and attack them and dissolve them. Doesn't that sound like a movie start? Isn't that so cool?
That's pretty outlandish.
What do you mean outlandish?
I think over-the-ear headphones mostly, right?
Well, they said both kinds of earphones, but these are the worst. They said earbuds are bad, earphones are much worse. Isn't that disgusting? I'm so sorry,
It's because
Sarah.
these have a better bass, like a bass dynamic, and so they probably, they trigger a little bit more getting down with the bacteria.
Bump, 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 ding, 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 ding. Dan, what's that ringing sound?
What is that?
I think it's time
I can't hear it. What is it? What is it?
Oh.
What is it?
It's just, it's time for your video game of the week. What
Guys,
are you playing?
Have you heard of Lies of P? Has anyone out there played Lies of P? Or it's a game like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. It's in the same family, but not by FromSoft. It's a very challenging game in the Soulsborne genre, and it's based on the lore of Pinocchio. That's Geppetto right there.
Yes.
It's incredible. It is. It's a very difficult game.
It is not like the Pinocchio you all know.
No, it's the Pinocchio I know.
Yeah, the Pinocchio he knows. It's actually it's a crazy, beautiful art scheme. I love watching Dan play these games because I'm not a gamer myself. But check it out.
Yeah, you are. Also, so it's like in this sort of like almost like not steampunk, but like Victorian era with robotics. Like mechanical robots, and it's really good. It's if you like that genre of game, and you know what I mean when I say Dark Souls, Soulsborne, Elden Ring style, it's like the best one I've ever played that's not by FromSoft.
And there's some really cool bosses in it as well. Like the fights and the battles in this are they're pretty darn epic.
Yeah.
If you ask me,
Extremely difficult though. I've been screaming at the TV. all week. So.
he's been pretty cranky, but in a good way.
Yeah, that's what you want out of your relaxing chill time, is to just get your blood pressure up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Lives of P standing for Pinocchio. There's even a little character called Gemini, spelled with a G, and he's a cricket.
Yeah, no, he's like a cricket puppet, but he lives inside a lantern that shows you guidance. His name, it's spelled like Gemini, actually.
Yeah.
But they call him Gemini.
Also, it is now time for ding, 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 ding. Do you hear that, Dan?
What is it?
It's our movie review of the week.
You guys, have you seen RRR?
RRR.
Have you?
It's on my top 5 favorite movies, and anybody who knows me knows why.
Because every other movie you see ends up on that list.
What do you mean?
It's more like a more recent movie list, but with like one like throwback.
They just make better movies all the time.
That's what they say.
They do. And let me tell you, RRR is so freaking great. Okay, it is epic in every sense of the word, especially this dance scene. They go crazy in this dance scene, and they dance so hard. It made me literally I couldn't stand still.
It's like Bollywood. It's not like Bollywood. It is Bollywood, but it's a 3-hour epic. And I was sitting there going, we're going to probably split this into 2 watches. I do want to watch it, but no way. And no, it's paced out very well. It's got 3 distinct acts. It's got like a very action-packed, like kind of comedic, over-the-top first act. And the second one is a lot of like slow burning story and like plot development. And then the third one is like Return of the King, where it's just like epic warfare. And it's really, really good.
It's so epic.
Very stylish. I highly recommend it.
Me too. And then last night we watched another movie because it is time for ding, 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 ding. What's that song?
We have a lot of segments.
I know.
There's just too many segments. I think we should call it a night.
This was
because I got to poop.
You can poop if you want, but this is your segment.
You can poop if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friend of mine. We walked down the aisle of that song.
We did. That was our wedding song and our first dance song, but much slower.
Miles Davis.
Oh my gosh, what an artist he is.
Miles Davis did not compose that song.
No, but if you don't know this, Dan has a new segment that he's been doing every single day and every single week this year.
It's not really a segment, it's just a project, and then it became part of this.
Yeah.
I'm listening to and exploring as much of the catalog as possible, in most cases, all of the catalog of a particular artist that was influential in music and that I've slept on. And this week was Miles Davis. And let me tell you what, if you are not a jazz person and you are new to the jazz world, it is an incredibly daunting task to try to explore Miles Davis catalog in a relevant order and understand why he was so important, because jazz people are insane.
I mean, insane in a good way. You know, it's really interesting to listen to this much jazz in a row because I have always kind of been one of those people that have thought of jazz as a background noise, and not noise, like background music. And I really love listening to jazz, but I never really appreciated it as much unless there were singers, probably because I'm a singer.
That's the thing with jazz, and you think you can appreciate jazz, and people are like, well, Miles Davis, when he moved from bebop and then slowed it down to cool jazz and then moved forward into modal jazz and really pushed modal jazz forward with the arrangements of his nonet and forward, and then move, it's just like...
He did not age well. No offense, Miles, but like you look at young Miles and then you look at that.
Yeah, that's a vibe. He's the Prince of Darkness.
He looks like something out of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
I don't know if he...
I don't mean it, Miles. Well, rest in peace, Miles.
Yeah, he died in 91, so hold your tongue.
We watched a movie about his life yesterday.
Starring and directed by Don Cheadle, and it was a pretty decent movie. It was like almost like a Miles Davis fairy tale that used a lot of the elements of his life to tell a story that just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But Don Cheadle was pretty good, and the movie was pretty good, and it was about Miles Davis. So what do you are there any Miles Davis fans out there? I grew up with playing the trumpet, so that's kind of why I wanted to graduate towards Miles Davis. And let me tell you, when you get to his fusion stuff in the 70s, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And if you're going to listen to Bitches Brew, I highly recommend you take a big old tab of acid first, because I think it'll help ease you into the experience.
I highly recommend that the children out there don't do any drugs. Actually, I highly recommend nobody does drugs, because I watched what happened to Miles Davis's life, and it was pretty messed up.
Yeah, who's talking about him anymore?
The dude went through some stuff. Okay, so this is
mostly
really cool.
cocaine.
My brother, Randy, who did our Toast and Jam today, actually had the opportunity to perform with one of Dan's favorite legends of all time in the jazz world.
My favorite trumpet player, Wynton Marsalis. Ever heard of him? He's amazing. He plays, he actually, I think he still leads the Lincoln Center Jazz, and he's incredible. You should check him out. Great trumpet player. great musician, great jazz and classical ambassador.
Yeah.
Watch him play Carnival of Venice because it's insane.
But I think that's amazing. And that's why Randy played the trumpet for you. Randy's right here. That's why Randy played the trumpet for you earlier today. And I will also say, I think that this week really opened my eyes a lot. And I'm really grateful that you did a non-singer for a week, because I'm so used to and have been so used to listening to either singers or background music my whole life. And this is going to make me think of things in a different way. So thanks for that.
Yeah, it'll make you think hard next time you try to put a B flat on top of a D minor 9 chord. Who's with me?
You know, I'm taking banjo lessons, as everybody knows, and I struggle when he's like, okay, now make it a 7th. And I'm like, there you go. And I have to tell you, I'm so impressed when people are like, oh, but what if you added that melodic 3rd and then went up a 7th? And then I don't even know what I'm talking about, as you can tell.
But people be like that.
Yeah, it's impressive. And I'm grateful that people are like that. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between,
what?
You know what we love to do at this time?
What time is it?
Whew, it's time to get hot.
Oh, I already am hot. It's really toasty in here. We should have thought this through. By the way, today's broadcast is brought to you by the color beige.
Yes, it is.
And now,
beige.
It's time to your mouth.
Whoa!
What?
All right, well, that kind of seems deliberately misleading.
It is the time that we love to try a new hot sauce every single week. This hot sauce is a hot sauce from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Dragon's Breath, and it's from Spicer's Sausage.
Spicer's Sausage.
Sauces.
That's why the pig.
Gourmet sauces.
He takes a flank off of his calf and serves you.
Poor little guy. This sauce company is located in Denton, North Carolina. Anybody out there know where Denton, North Carolina
Or perhaps
is?
you're tuning in from Denton. This particular sauce is called Dragon's Breath because it features amongst, well, here's a list of the peppers. Cayenne, Reaper, Trinidad, Scorpion, Habanero, Ghost, Jalapeno, and a not oft-used pepper, Dragon's Breath, which was a British pepper that was made after the Reaper and actually dethroned it on the Scoville ranking, not officially, but before Pepper X came out, it was actually the hottest pepper ahead of the Reaper.
That's really interesting.
And I don't think I've ever actually had anything with Dragon's Breath in it. So
I haven't either, so I'm excited.
This is a huge cocktail of like 9 peppers, and it's pretty thick. So
whoa, that looks amazing.
We're gonna just try this
I'm gonna
out.
let y'all see this at large. If you have any spicy questions to ask us at this time, you may do so.
Yeah, because remember, we're live.
We're live. You can ask us anything you want. If there's something
Unless
we
you're watching this,
won't
not now.
answer, then we have to take a shot of this hot sauce. The other day, Dan asked me a question I would not answer.
Yep, and she got an ulcer.
I
ended up in the hospital at 3 a.m.
That was bad.
Yeah.
So I think that if no, I didn't this time. But if you ask us a question that's too spicy, Dan's going to do the shot.
We're going to try this right now. This is Dragon's Breath from Spicer's Pepper Company.
Ooh. Wow, ooh, there it is. Interesting. There it comes. What do you think, Dan?
It's good. You know what I really taste a lot of is black pepper.
I wonder if that's the Dragon's Breath.
No, I think it's the black pepper.
Is there black pepper in it? I was only half paying attention.
Yeah, but it's really pepper forward. It's not as hot as a lot of sauces I've had. Apparently, this is their hottest sauce, right? Or is the other one?
I'm not sure, but it's pretty darn hot.
It's hot, and the flavor's good. It's really like
what would you put
deep.
this on?
You know what? I think there's fire roasted tomatoes, so I definitely taste like the char on the tomato. I would put that on a lot of things, like chicken,
maybe
rice.
A steak.
I put it in my ramen. You don't put sauce on steak.
Why not?
Come on!
I put béarnaise sauce on steak all the time.
Oh, man.
You seem a little aggressive tonight.
Okay, I am sorry. I'm just trying to make up for the fact that I have to poop.
Well, you can if you want. Oswald has a question though. Does a circle have no sides or infinite sides?
A circle has one side.
Is that the answer?
I think so.
I feel like a circle is a big hug. That's my answer.
I think that's what geometry majors think too.
Ooh. My tongue is like.
I'm gonna have some more of that. That was really good.
I'll take another hit. I'll take another hit. Yeah. You know what's really cool? If you have an addiction to something out there and you'd like to get over it, I highly recommend hot sauce.
Do you know that a lot of chili heads got their start in being chili heads because they're recovering addicts or they're clean addicts, I guess.
This gives you a type of buzz, high, whatever you want to call it.
And if you watch Johnny Scoville on YouTube, he's one of the original chili head YouTubers. He talks about this a lot. You can get a big old endorphin dump if you really push yourself past your limits. You know what it does, though? It hits me right in the back of the throat.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say that, too. It makes me want to cough.
It attacks me right in the back of the throat.
Oh, actually, I like it.
I really like it.
I will give this 4 out of 5.
I will, too. I like it. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5? Fires.
4 out of 5 for both of us is very impressive because I usually rate things much higher than Dan Beckman.
All right, on the heat scale, that's a 7, probably.
7 out of 10?
7 for me. 7 for us.
That's a good 8.
Yeah? Want to cool it down with one of those comfy snacks you have over there?
Oh, yeah, guess what?
I will say I am actually prickling right here a little bit.
Is there a snack any comfier than jet puffed marshmallows? No, I don't think so. I think this is the most
maybe dead ass.
I think this is the most delicious snack.
I feel like I'm just going out of my way to ruin this.
No, you're not ruining anything. You know what? You're just being a little aggressive. We need to bring somebody else on here because I can't handle you alone anymore.
Oh.
I can't.
We are on vacation.
I need another man right now. In fact, I would like to.
What would you like to?
I would like to bring on.
Tell us what you'd like to.
A good old friend of mine.
Yeah? What is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest is the one and only Phil Powell, who is a professional actor, director. He's based in the Piedmont Triad. His clients have included HGTV, Amazon, Walmart, and many others. He has a great love of community theater and the value that it brings to people's lives. He's been a part of the Little Theater of Winston-Salem for over 25 years. He lives at home with his amazing wife, Roberta, and dozens of pairs of tube socks. Phil gives much credit of his many successes to the popular drink, Mountain Dew. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, please welcome the one and only Phil Powell.
Put your hands up.
Greetings.
That was crazy.
Oh, it was crazy.
Phil, how you doing?
I'm doing great. The nurse was just in. She gave me all my medications, checked my vitals. I'm good to go.
Are you?
Thank
What's
goodness.
your blood pressure right now?
It's 130 over 84, which is higher than I want, but it's fine for the show.
And it's pretty good. That's right in the pocket, I think they call it in jazz.
Right.
That is good. Right in the pocket. Phil, you look phenomenal. What's going on in your life right now?
Well, you mean why do I look phenomenal on camera?
Yeah. What do you use? Who are
Okay,
you
we'll
wearing
go with
tonight?
that. I have fancy lights and fancy cameras. So, that helps a lot. And also I've been doing this a long time. But, oh my gosh, I don't know who's commenting. As we've talked, this microphone is fake. It's a prop. It doesn't actually work. There's no tapping.
It looks
I'm wearing a
good.
loft.
Yeah, and we're wearing lofts
here's
today, which is typical of us. Do you find that having a prop in your Zoom sessions adds clout to your business acumen?
Yes,
Thank you. Good night.
absolutely. There is nothing, if you want to talk about that kind of stuff, I've got material all day long. Not very funny, but interesting.
All right, give me your tight 30 seconds on microphone and Zoom meeting humor.
Their humor, again, I got no humor here. I just got actual facts, which are boring.
Great.
But having a big microphone is important when you're talking in Zoom. It's like, well, that person is important because they've got a big microphone.
I don't like the way
otherwise-
that you said that
Look.
and held that at the same time. Really.
Look your microphone, touch it, measure it. How big is it?
Well, it's cold in here.
It's, yeah, that's what I thought.
So, we're in Miami.
I can't see your microphone, Phil.
Well,
Also, you froze for a second and you looked so aggressive. You kind of froze like this.
Yeah, where is your lav? Oh,
it's
below
right
the
here. Am I unfrozen now?
Yeah, you're
You are.
good.
Okay.
It was only for a hot second, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got a professional setup. I'm not one of these Johnny come latelys, you know. I'm there. How's Florida?
It is hot.
Great. We just got here, and I want to tell you, based on the traffic and the drive-in alone, I am never coming to Miami again as long as I live, and you can't make me.
I got to tell you what's so great is I have been complaining about Miami traffic my whole life, and now he sees why. It's literally the worst driving in the entire country, and now that we've traveled to every 50 states, we can say that very, very perfectly.
Distinctly, yeah. I want to say, Dan, because I heard you talking about taking a dump. And
yes,
that hotel looks way too nice. I think you're.
Well, that's why I haven't done it.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take a trip out to the frontage road by the airport after this, and just kind of see what I can make happen.
It's a good idea.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I love about Phil?
Tell me.
He's so smart.
That's so true.
Yeah, there's very few actual incredibly smart people. I won't throw the G word around, because neither of you like me to call you that.
God.
That I'll
Definitely
take.
won't throw that word around. But I do think that the two of you have an above average intelligence, and any Phil fans out there, you can attest to this. Any Dan fans out there, I bet you can attest to this as well. But I have put together something. Oh, before we do, Phil, I have a question for you. Who's this little baby right here? Who's this little baby?
Just some random child from the 60s who might or might not be me. I believe that was on Sunday. We always take pictures on Sunday, as I recall, for some strange reason. But yeah, that would be me and my dad, who has a very strange name. My dad he had a very strange name. Mode. That was his
Mode?
name.
M-O-D-E?
Yep. Like they named the magazine after him.
Well, it's very strange when everybody would say, "What's your dad's name?" And I would say Mode. And everybody, the stares I would get. But it was like short for his grandfather was Moses. And so we think it was just like a shortened version of Moses that was like a baby name. And so, but telling everybody my dad's name was Mode was a little strange. I mean, I'm just going to.
Did you ever have ice cream a la him?
No, because my dad would not pay for ice cream. So I had Allah many times, but never.
Who hasn't? There's 6 jokes I didn't make there. What about this one?
Oh, now I have a lot of comments there. This was in Oblong, Illinois. I won the Halloween costume contest for 5th graders in a animal costume category. So,
wow.
I mean, there were, people for miles around who lacked basic sewing skills were very jealous of me. But any normal person could have won that contest, but I kind of won by default. So I'm very proud of my chipmunk face.
I was just going to ask. I wasn't sure which. I was pretty certain it was a mammal.
That's what we were going
cleared it up for me.
Yeah, I did have bangs, Patricia. Yes, I mean, my parents didn't splurge for fancy things like haircuts. I mean, I got to the barber on special occasions.
I'll be honest with you. I saw that picture at first, and I thought Erinn was showing a picture of her at like age 9.
Well, Phil and Patricia both knew me at that age, and I did have bangs like that. So.
Yeah, that's why I thought.
My mom used to call them my mushroom bangs.
And that nut that I'm holding, in case that's ambiguous, that's a nut. That is
I definitely didn't know that.
That is a shopping bag with magic marker. It's a shopping bag crumpled up with magic marker. So that was also showing my artistic ability.
I kind of thought you were bootlegging.
You wouldn't know I was a chipmunk.
Yeah, well, I thought you were bootlegging hash.
Yeah, and so it was a proud moment. If I go to certain parts of Illinois, I mean, people will recognize me. Most of those people are senile, but they will recognize me. So, yeah, for that costume win. A lot of people were jealous.
Yeah. Well, we have the same target audience in that way, so
we do.
It's great.
Yeah.
The only people who recognize us are senile, actually. And the only people who tune into the show are. So, hi, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm just kidding.
She doesn't mean it.
Yeah, I don't even know what senile means.
I don't remember.
Neither do I. That's why I say it.
Yeah. It's always a good idea to use words you don't know, especially when lots of people you don't know are watching.
Right, exactly. That's how you stay out of trouble.
Exactly. Yes. Works for all the politicians.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, guys, I would like to challenge both of you in a little game that we like to call...
Wait.
Dan hasn't found the slide.
We're playing a game?
Oh, we are. Did you know this?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Totally.
Well, we're going to play that one. A little game that we...
Trivia Smackdown!
Trivia Smackdown!
I already said it.
Oh, yeah.
Our slide froze.
I won.
I think our internet is probably bad. I think we'll watch this back later and we'll be like, go. So for that, I'd like to thank Hilton.
Yeah, thanks, Hilton.
Well, if Dan and Erinn are out, I think I can carry it, folks. I mean, I've done this before. I've done this for a long time. No, okay, it looks like they're back in. All right.
See, I knew it.
Oh, no. Are we in and out?
Yeah.
Oh, just like the burger.
Here, this is the problem.
You're back. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, who knows what'll happen, but Phil, it's up to you to carry this out for another 19 minutes if we disappear.
Yes, definitely.
I can do it.
All right.
I mean, whether people will
we
listen.
have 4 categories of trivia. Oh, no. Now it looks like Phil's frozen, but maybe that's just the way he looks.
I think we're probably just broadcasting to ourselves at this point.
That's
you know what, guys?
We're black dots of death.
See, there it is.
I'm so sad. Either way, this isn't our regular studio. This is on the road. So
You're back. I mean, I've been here entertaining folks. So it's all good.
All right, well, keep it up and see if we can manage to play this game. Odds are no.
No, it's going to be great.
Okay.
There's still a bunch of people watching, so I know that things have to be decent.
Well, that's because Phil's
Now,
here.
That's
this is disappointing. I was hoping that this would be your lowest rated show. I mean, that's what I was going for.
Not yet.
Believe you, we've had some real filth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well.
Oh no, what's happening? Is there
think
anything we can do?
I think what's happening is that Hilton is like, you've had enough. Oh, you know what?
Go on your hotspot.
Yeah, let's just try it real quick.
All right.
Let's just see what happens.
While Dan is trying to get that fixed, if we happen to go out, Phil's going to take over. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the rules of this game. So I've got 4 different categories today. The first category is brain teasers. Woohoo! The second category is name that musical theater picture. The third category, I forgot what it was because my notes fell on the ground. There it is. No, my notes are disappearing. Ah, here they are. We don't have a regular studio here. Our third category is finish the lyrics. And our fourth category is random arse trivia. Because I wanted to make sure we had enough general knowledge in there to make sure that we were all good. So those are we're gonna go back and forth. Phil, our guest of honor, is going to have the first chance to answer. And we'll go back and forth until we got it. Dan, how's the internet looking?
Not good.
Oh, well.
Keep it up.
We'll see how it goes. All right. So, Phil, are you ready for your first question?
I am indeed.
All right. The question is, what runs all over a backyard yet never moves? You have 10 seconds.
I don't think he's going to get the question. So
oh, no.
just keep entertaining them. Tell them a funny story.
I heard you.
Am
I see
on?
it. I just won't be able to answer. Let's see.
What runs all around a backyard yet never moves? Audience, feel.
All right, we just swapped over to another internet connection. We'll see how this works.
I bet
how are we
it's
looking?
gonna
How are we
be
feeling?
amazing. I feel pretty good. Phil, are you with us?
Phil's having a
I
connection.
am. I'm thinking about the question.
Ah,
I mean, it's
Great.
it's
Well,
a
you've
pretty
got
deep
five.
question.
You've got five.
It's a deep question.
It is.
You've got 5 more seconds, and then Dan's going to have a chance to steal your point.
Oh, am I supposed to answer? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's just philosophizing.
I thought it was like going to be a one-off. I'm going to say, oh, this is going to be too somber. An old man's bladder.
Ooh,
That
is
is
it?
a great idea. However, unfortunately, it's not the answer. You have
Protest.
5 seconds.
I
to
appeal.
steal.
I'm appealing.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm appealing.
You said bladder, and all I could think about is how badly I have to poo.
So is that your answer?
Well,
You know what's exciting? We actually had someone get it right. Valine is correct. The
Oh.
answer is a fence.
very good.
That's right.
And so did Bruce.
Oh,
Well,
good job, guy.
I'm gonna have to turn these comments
Technically,
off for me because I actually.
I'm going to say
Hold on.
fences designate a perimeter around the yard. They are not in the yard, generally speaking. You know? So, I mean,
Well,
I get it.
It does say around.
Okay, so around
I agree.
the
That
yard,
question
but
should be thrown out. And
it should be what
I think
extends
that
around
we
the perimeter.
throw it out.
But, you know,
That's fun.
The good news is, at least it's tied scores.
yes.
I thought he was frozen, but that was just his face.
I'm
No,
terrified.
I'm just staying still.
Phil, you look good frozen.
I do.
It's good. Very stoic.
I mean,
All
that's
right.
what
And
I'm planning on
you have
pulling
this
this.
chance to answer first.
I'm planning on pulling a Stalin at some point, you know, or not a Stalin, Lenin.
Ooh.
Sorry, Stalin was the bad guy. Lenin, okay. maybe
I was
not
gonna
so much.
say.
the coffin thing. I'm gonna pull that.
This is the most communist figureheads names we've dropped on an episode of this show ever.
So true.
Hey, you know,
So true.
sponsorships, you get them where you can.
Especially in communism.
That's so true. All right, Dan.
Excuse
this
me.
question you get to answer first.
Okay.
If you get it incorrectly, Phil will have a chance to
Okay.
steal. The question is, shoot me 1,000 times. I may still survive, but one scratch from me, and you will find your prospects take a dive. What am I? Shoot at me 1,000 times, and I may still survive, but one scratch from me, and you will find your prospects take a dive. You have 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
1,000 times.
All right, it looks like it is
Ah.
Phil's turn because
Ooh.
you didn't make it. Phil, do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is, but I will take a guess. I'm going to go with bacteria.
Ha! Good try. However, the answer is. I don't know how to put.
Oh, you want me to play? Sorry. I was thinking about.
The
prospects.
answer is a magic 8-ball. Well, it's not magic. It's just an 8-ball.
Oh, just an 8-ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see. That's
Shoot
good.
me 1,000 times, I may still survive, but one scratch from me, and you'll find your prospects take a dive. An 8-ball in
I get
the
it.
pool. Yep.
I get it.
All right.
I was
the
not
score is
allowed to
still
use
tied.
8 balls.
Oh, really?
Magic
You play
8
with
balls.
them?
Well, it was like the Ouija board. It was witchcraft. We couldn't
Ooh,
do
very
it.
cool.
You know, it's like forbidden. You're taking a lot of chances with the devil.
I agree.
You know, the
And-
8-ball.
And I think this is fun because I think it's fun for people to tune in and see us both fail over and over again.
That's okay.
Yes.
You're going to start
Yes.
succeeding now. I have a feeling.
Okay.
Although,
All right. This next brain teaser goes out to Phil first. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a long one. Michael J. Fox has
Oh.
a short one. Madonna doesn't use hers. Bill Clinton always uses his. The Pope never uses his. Phil, what is it?
I want to say zipper.
Dan, you have 5 seconds to steal.
It's got to be last name.
It is a last name.
Is that what it is?
Woo!
Oh!
That's
But wait
right.
a minute. The Pope has a last name.
Yeah, but he doesn't use it. He's the
Isn't he
Pope.
Pope Paul and Pope Benedict and all that stuff?
It's like John Paul and Pope Paul. They always got like 45 names. I mean, they've got some of those have to be a last name. They can't be all of them.
We got to throw that one out.
Okay, so no points for you, Dan?
I don't think it fits well with the theme.
Okay, sounds good. The score is still 0-0 then. Moving along to Phil, you have a chance to answer this one first.
Oh,
No, that's
Lord.
not true. Dan, you have a chance to answer this one first.
Okay.
A red house is made from red bricks. A blue house is made from blue bricks. A yellow house is made from yellow bricks. And a green house is made from...
Glass.
Nobody's fooling you,
Wait.
are they? That is correct. That is correct.
I would argue that was way easier than the 8-ball.
What? No. You can break me many times, but if you scratch me, it's not good. That was
What's a greenhouse made of?
glass.
All of these riddles don't really count unless you're in front of the Sphinx. And
Oh,
then,
that's a Trials of Hercules
it's
reference.
like if you can't solve a riddle when it counts, or like Gollum, any of these things, like when it really counts when you solve riddles, just casually on the internet live, okay, anybody can do that. But when you're about to be killed by a monster, then it becomes more difficult.
What strikes you as casual about this affair?
What's casual about us?
Yeah.
Or what are you talking about?
Why
don't know
does
what
this
he's
not
talking
feel
about.
like high stakes to you? That's what I want to know.
Oh, yes. Well, I would say you're right. This is not high stakes because it's casual.
No.
That's the theme.
We're
What are you
moving on
talking
to
about?
our next category. Now, it's
Oh.
okay. The score currently is 1-0 with Dan in the lead. However,
I thought that
Phil,
didn't count.
don't worry,
All right.
because these next, because first of all, nothing matters. We're all just floating
Phil
around
looks
in
stressed.
space.
There it is.
Drinking a bye. We're,
Excellent. Cheers with your
Are
bye.
you appropriately antioxidized?
this has got a lot of potassium in it. So,
Okay.
I mean, you know how they have the electrolytes? I think this
yeah.
has like one. It specializes in an electrolyte.
Oh,
So
like
I'm
one
well-
electrolyte?
One of the E's. I got one of the E's totally covered. Over covered.
So, question: how do you put potassium in a liquid? Because when you drop potassium in water, it blows up.
You're right, but that would be highly concentrated potassium. So that's why those tricks with all of those, where the glue comes out and all that stuff, or the heat comes off, that's extremely concentrated, which you can only buy kind of, off market. And you're not supposed to do those tricks on stage because they're dangerous. But yeah, it's highly concentrated. It depends upon the concentration amount. So
Interesting.
I could
wanted a
technically blow
funny
up on your
answer.
show.
I wanted a funny answer.
We should get a sponsorship now from them.
Potassium.
From potassium, yes. This show has been sponsored by
They're killing
potassium.
it.
I don't want to be all by myself.
Aww. Baby, bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, here we are. That's
Bye,
my
bye,
one.
bye, bye.
Dubai. Speaking of
Dubai.
Dubai, it's time for our next category,
What
which
is it?
is not Dubai. These are worth 2 points each. You have 5 seconds to answer. It is a screenshot of a musical theater scene.
Okay.
So the first one goes out to Phil. Phil, if you can't get it, then Dan, you will have 5 seconds to answer,
Ooh.
and then we will turn it over. So here comes your picture. Phil, in 5
Oh.
seconds, tell us if you know what show this is.
The screen is far away, but from here, based upon the colors, is it? It's not Wicked. It looks like Secret Garden, maybe. I give
It
up.
was a good guess. Dan, you know.
That just came to the Tanger Center, I believe. It's Hades Town.
You are correct. Woo! Hadestown, the myth,
haven't
the
seen it yet.
musical. Oh, you're going to love it. It's a great show. It's actually the last show we saw before the pandemic, like about 4 days before the world shut down. We saw it on Broadway.
And it stars the Sphinx and Potassium.
All right, Dan, this is your turn to answer first. Name in 5 seconds or less this musical.
Is that Jersey Boys?
It is Jersey
Is it really?
Boys. I can't believe you got that correct.
Well, there's 4 boys and they look a little edgy.
I am absolutely incredibly impressed that you got that. I thought that was a really hard one.
It is. I don't know why. I've never seen it.
Like, and I specifically chose a shot without the 4 boys in it.
Aren't those the 4 boys?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. There's more than 4 boys.
I think it was.
Oh, I see. There's 4 boys.
I mean, that's sort of the giveaway. Is it looks like there's 4 boys from Jersey.
I don't know.
But I mean, there's nothing in that photograph which would, other than I guess the girls in the background, that would kind of indicate it was from the 60s.
All right, Phil, I've got one coming your way. This photograph is from a musical. Name that musical.
Oh, we've got a 1920s car. It's People in Love. It's yeah, I don't know. Great Gatsby, the musical, which is going to be coming to Broadway, so I know it can't be that, but that is a reasonable guess.
Dan, do you have a guess?
God, is it Newsies?
It is not. However, that is Jeremy Jordan and Laura Osnes in Bonnie and Clyde.
Well, then I think Phil should get partial credit because Jeremy Jordan, I believe, is starring in The Great Gatsby.
Is he really?
Yeah. Didn't he?
I saw Jeremy Jordan on Broadway in Newsies, and he was great. I love Jeremy Jordan. Jeremy Jordan is awesome. Jeremy Jordan's one of those guys that's my age and can pull off being a 20-some-year-old or even a teenager, and that impresses me. Dan, you have the next chance to answer. This is the last one in this category. What is this musical?
Okay, that has to be Anything Goes.
That is correct.
I knew that one. You don't give me that one.
Jersey
That one I
Boy.
knew. Yeah, sure.
Ooh, Anything Goes. Also, AKA my favorite tap dancing musical, and Reno Sweeney is a role that someday I would love to play, whether I have to produce it and cast myself. It is a dream role. I love that, Sean.
It may happen.
Good stuff.
I remember
Okay,
Little Theater's production.
Yes, I was
When
in
was
that.
that?
It was in
When-
1998.
what were I remember Doc in that, and
Doc Clay was Moonface, and Patricia, who I think is watching tonight, was Hope, and Andrew Lopina was in that show. And I played the photographer and angel number 4 when I was 14 years old. It was cool.
you were angel number 4.
I was. That was a big deal for a teenager.
That's a highly esteemed role.
It was.
I mean, it's not like you were aiming for angel number 3, but you had to settle for angel number 4.
I was happy with ensemble at age 14, so I was thrilled.
But maybe it works opposite than like chair assignments in band. Maybe angel number 4 actually takes all the solos.
There were 6 angels, so I wasn't the best. I wasn't the worst.
Well, then
I was just mid-angel.
Maybe just leave the number out.
It's on my resume as photographer. Okay, next category is finish these lyrics.
Okay.
All right, Phil, this one's for you, and it is "Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer." Fill in the blanks. Feel free to sing if you need to.
Here's the thing. I can't understand Elton John. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. That's in essence very similar to what he says. Like, hey, if you play it, it's going to sound very similar to what I said.
I agree with you. Dan, do you have a guess?
I know it's Count the Headlights on the Highway.
Yes,
It's like
that
there's
is
something ahead.
correct.
Now,
Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway.
See, I take issue with Elton John. That Doesn't even make sense. So all these years later, I'm calling B on his
Just
song.
say it. Yeah, no,
I'm calling bullshit on his song. That song, Tiny Dancer, made sense. The rest of it, gibberish. He just was making it up. Bernie Taupin probably wrote the lyrics to that, which is, but I think it was all Elton.
Let's not bring Bernie into this.
Poor Bernie.
Yeah, he's been through enough.
All right, speaking of Bernie, Dan, this one you have the chance
Bernie
to answer
Dan.
first.
Okay.
And here it comes. Whether you're a blank or whether you're a blank, you're staying alive.
Do I have to do it in the right order?
Yes.
I feel like it's mother and then brother.
I think that's right.
And you would be incorrect.
No!
Oh, do you have a guess?
Well, the only thing I can think is it's the inverse, because anything else I can think of would be incredibly problematic.
And so what would that be, Phil?
No, we're not going there.
No, not the inappropriateness. What would the inverse be? Do it, man. Just say it.
Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're saying a lot.
Oh.
Well
It was
played.
bound to happen sometime.
Excellent. All right, and not only
Nicely
that,
done.
but you have the next chance to answer this one first.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
I am.
Just beat it. No one wants to be showing how and it doesn't matter who's or
That's a lot. I mean, is this called fill in the blanks? Because that's a lot of blanks. That's not just one blank. That's like
I was going to
four.
leave just a big thing, and then I thought, oh, it'll be too easy.
No, I don't think so. Just beat it. No one wants to see that Weird Owl version. Is mostly what I remember.
This is a 3-syllable word, that first one. No one wants to be show and tell.
A repeater? No one wants to be a repeater.
No one wants to be a repeater.
No, no one does.
That's so true.
No one wants to be a repeater. So that's logically possible and therefore true. I mean, in an alternate Marvel universe, I'm sure that my answer is correct.
Well, Dan, you have 5 seconds to try.
This is absurd, and I'm okay. No one wants to be defeated.
Yes.
But that's not. There's still
Keep going.
Very big mountain to climb. Showing how Pete and Charlie get down on it. It doesn't matter who's squash or filth.
You are absolutely. The correct answer is just beat it. No one wants to be defeated. Showing how funky.
I had funky.
And strong is your fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right.
Can we? Phil and I are upset.
Can I tell you something? I found a bunch of questions and I made them harder because my faith in the both of you is so strong.
It's misplaced.
Yeah.
It's misplaced. It's misplaced.
I just have to say that I apologize for making this.
Which 13 words are missing from the preamble of the Constitution?
I feel slightly guilty because I literally took this trivia and I made it 10 times harder than it was when I found it.
But we're happy to fail publicly. It's become a brand. So
did you actually know that, Sarah Wall?
I bet she did.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, God.
The next question is for Dan to answer first. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really mean to blank.
Okay. Yeah. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really mean to learn. Because we're living in a world of fools bringing us down when they all should let us be.
What?
Is that correct?
That is so correct.
Wow.
That was
See, Phil, it's easy.
Yeah, that was easy. I mean, if I'd known we were going with a Bee Gees theme, I would have just listened a little. I mean, I listened a lot in the 70s, but I didn't know that in the future I'd be tested.
That was 2 Bee Gees, to be fair.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's my favorite Bee Gees song, though. How Deep Is
Beat
Your
It?
Love? No.
Or How Deep Is
Beat
Your
It is my favorite Bee Gees
Yeah,
song.
Beat It. The cover by the Bee Gees was the best.
It was very
True,
good.
Dusty.
It was a retroactive experience.
Okay, Phil, Dan, guess what?
What?
It's time for the lightning round.
Oh.
Oh my
6
God.
questions.
Is it
Back
near the
and
end?
forth.
That's all I really need to know.
It
Is
will end in the 6 general arts trivia
All right.
questions. Starting with this one to you, Phil. Which company was originally called Cadabra?
Yeah,
Wait.
I mean, you already did it, but that was my guess.
Correct.
That's the trick.
That
Just wait.
That was my fault. I'm running this part since he can't know the answers.
Well-
so there's a lot of mistakes.
No, I worked for him, so it makes sense. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't say, hey, you know what we used to be called? Cadabra.
They should
didn't
have.
do that at any point in time.
No,
Interesting.
They should have. And look at what happened to Jeff Bezos because he didn't.
Oh, so true.
Mm.
Poor Jeff. All right, Dan,
Yeah?
see if you can beat this. Which company was originally called Blue Ribbon Sports?
Nike.
That is correct. Woo! You're on a roll, boys. All right, Phil, which Netflix show had the most streaming views in 2021?
Whew. I'm trying to think of what would have been most popular. I mean, Breaking Bad broke the record, but that was way after that. 2021. Oh, that would have been Tiger King, maybe?
Is it Squid Game?
Oh my God! It's
Whoa!
Squid Game. Which is a highly disturbing show, number 1. Number 2.
Yeah, I didn't watch it for that reason.
It's good though.
It's good. And now they've made another thing on it. It's really good.
It's a reality show now, or a game show, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Phil. What is the world's fastest bird?
I don't know if this is technically true, but Wile E. Coyote. I don't. Oh gosh, now I can't think of the species name.
I
Drawing a
believe
blank.
your time is running out.
Wile E. Coyote's nemesis. That bird.
It is incorrect.
Uh,
And you have a guess.
okay, this is really random, but is it the peregrine falcon?
It is the peregrine falcon.
Are you serious? That's
I actually had to look because I forgot what bird it was.
All right, so remind me never to go on the Dan and Erinn show again.
No, wait. I did a report on the peregrine falcon. Did you know that?
Oh,
When I was in elementary school.
I didn't know that.
So don't
Okay.
say I never learned anything.
All right, this is our
elementary
last
school.
question. I'm going to give it to you both at the same time, and whoever shouts it out first will be the winner of the entire competition, and no other
That sounds
points
fair.
count.
Democratic.
Which character have both Glenn Close and Emma Stone played?
Oh, I know.
The person from 101 Dalmatians, her.
Cruella DeVille.
Yep,
Cruella
her,
DeVille.
yeah.
That means that Phil Powell, with an unprecedented score of I don't even know how many, is our champion tonight. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, please give it up for Phil.
In Erinn and Dan's world, you can win with the score of 2. It's a lovely world.
It's true. Phil,
That was wild. That was the wildest trivia you've ever done.
do you know, I don't know what happened. I went to Florida. I made it too hard. Next time, Phil, we're gonna make it better.
I mean, I could do jokes all day long. It's just trivia. I'm also pretty good at, but they need to be about things I know. So,
But your microphone is enormous.
yeah, my microphone game and my camera game.
It's pretty good.
Top notch. And there's two feet on a gentleman sitting above your head that I can't quite make out.
Oh yeah, who are
Well,
those?
that's a G.I. Joe. So you didn't ask me about G.I. Joes from the 60s.
True.
What was Hasbro Toys' response to the Barbie doll?
Was it G.I. Joe?
This guy.
Oh.
Whoa.
So
he's much bigger than I expected.
Is that like a retro?
I mean, well, it's mine, so probably. So he's got his boots and he's ready to march off to die. So it's just really not really. I'm
so
sorry.
sweet.
Those watching, I'm sorry, forgot your audience.
It's all types, and you never know what to expect here.
No, this is G.I. Joe. He comes in a box. I was so happy to get him. I didn't know why, but everybody had one. And he still works. He's still all right.
I love that. Phil.
But yeah, he's on my shelf.
We always like to ask our guests for some words of wisdom, advice, and love to go out there and be put out there to the universe at large. So what do you have to say to everyone who's listening?
Boy, that's a broad category.
If you want, you can just put BG's quotes in.
I would say lean into what you find that you're good at in life so that you can excel sooner and be open to working in that area as compared to flailing somewhere else where you might not be so productive. That's what I got off the top of my head.
I love that. That's great. That's great advice. And that we have some young people watching today, so heed the words of wise Phil.
Yes, heed the words of wise Phil. And you too can grow up to have a giant microphone. We love you, Phil. Thanks for being with us today.
Love you too. Thanks for letting me be on. It's been great. And I'll see you crazy kids soon, I'm sure.
Yes, you will.
Sounds amazing.
Take it easy, brother.
Man, you know what? I've known Phil since I was 9 years old.
9?
9. Like the negative thing that the Germans say.
I have not. I guess I met Phil in probably 2020.
During the pandemic?
I think so. I don't know that I actually
see that guy you used to go outside with and talk to in masks?
No, it was the Battle of the Theater All-Stars. I think that introduced me to.
Until then? Crazy.
I think so.
Wow.
And I haven't spent nearly enough time with Phil. Most of it's been in these boxes.
You need to make more time.
I know. And
Speaking of more time, our time is over tonight.
Wow, yeah, we went way over.
I didn't even notice because Phil was so interesting.
And what a perfect night for it, since I've been bursting at the duodenum the entire episode.
It's true. Guys, before we leave you, I just want to say one quick thing. We usually have a positivity corner, but it's too late. It's too late.
Save it for next time.
I'm going to save it for next time. But I do want to say that we were traveling down here to Florida and we stopped at a KOA campground. And there was a guy there with a pit bull. And he was so excited that we came up to this pit bull and pet his pit bull. And he kept thanking us. He kept saying, thank you so much for petting the pit bull. Usually people look at my pit bull and they don't want to have anything to do with her. This means so much. And then we saw him later and he said, thank you so much again. You made my day. Guys, I promise you that just by being kind to a stranger, you could literally change the trajectory of their life. And this was just a nice reminder because he kept telling us and then he saw us later and kept telling us again. There's so many people out there that you'll run into that you won't necessarily know that you've done it. But even by just making eye contact and saying hi and giving them the time of day.
Or even like cashiers and people that you just like meet and maybe take for granted because they're part of your daily thing. Just give them a little extra love, you know what I mean? Because it really does, you never know who needs it.
Yep, you never know. And he said that his doggie was there and he rescued her. And he said, I wouldn't be here without her. She rescued me because I didn't even want to be up with him anymore. And you never know.
Boy named Ezekiel.
It was. Oh, yeah, it was a boy. I loved him. He was the cutest little pup ever.
Well, I was like, man, if this is what's going to happen in Florida, people are just going to thank me for petting their dogs. I'm moving here. And then I continued south.
And got into all the Florida traffic. Guys, thanks for spending so much time with us today. Thanks for hanging in with us. We're a good 14 minutes over, Dan.
Yeah, that's wild. Isn't it great to be on the internet where you don't have to listen to producers, you don't have to, have people telling you what and when and where. You don't have to.
It's pretty great. But that's enough for today.
Okay.
And we love you guys so much.
I ran out of things to say.
Hey, next week is a really incredible week. It is going to be Pokemon.
It's National Pokemon Day.
Yes.
Next week. So if you're a Pokemon fan, tune in because we got a very special guest coming. This person is competed at a world championship level of Pokemon trading card game, which is a pretty big deal. And they're going to be joining us next week, along with some other perhaps guests and information. I want you to bring your stuff too, because I'm a big Pokemon fan and you're about to find out.
It's going to be fun. If you have any pictures of you in Pokemon attire, I want you to go ahead and send them to Erinn and Dan at erinanddan.com, and we'll put you on the show.
2 N's in Erinn.
Yes.
1 N in Dan.
Exactly. And 2 N's in Beckman. So I have so many N's in my name.
So true.
I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And we hope that we'll see you next week. What?
I'm going to go poop. Because I'm going to take him to the bathroom with me. Oops.
Are you going to go poop with Marshmallow?
Of course I am. Oh, God. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.